This pump is not stopping. I mean, Bitcoin touched 48,000. And officially now, when you look at Bitcoin, we are positive for the year. So Bitcoin started off the year at exactly 40, let's see, have a look here. So Bitcoin started off the year somewhere over here at about 47,500. We're back there, which means that Bitcoin is now even for the year. And we have recovered from the lows. Let's look at how we've done relative to the lows. We are now 33% above the lows. But the real action is actually not happening in Bitcoin. The real action is actually happening in the altcoins. And if you look at our altcoin portfolio is absolutely flying. So we look at the altcoin portfolio, and just today you look at Decentralized Social, Astroport. Astroport was at $3 a few minutes ago. It's now back at $2.44. And it looks like maybe my prediction of $3 by the end of March can be right. I did hit $3, so I think I've got some kind of leeway there. Then there are a whole lot of other altcoins, and today we're going to be talking about all these altcoins and why they're running. We're also going to talk about a little bit of news that no one is talking about. There's one bit of news that I haven't seen anybody talking about, but the truth is that if this news is real, and I think it is real, I'm going to show you the evidence, then this could be the biggest news that Bitcoin has seen, not only in 2022, but certainly in the last 12 months. This is maybe even bigger than a country adopting Bitcoin. So there is this news. I'm going to show you what I have. I think that it's true. And if it does happen, then this bull market is about to go absolutely ballistic. So if you have been in bed and if you have been sleeping like a bear for hibernating for the last couple of months, well, now is a great time. Yeah, you know what? The haters must go away because we're going to carry on playing that song because that song gives us amazing energy. And now we've got amazing energy because it feels like we're back in this absolute bull market again. The market just isn't stopping. And we're starting to see confidence coming back into the market. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to show you the indicators that are showing me that there is huge confidence coming into the market. And you know what that means. If confidence comes back into the market, that means that retail come into the market. And if retail are coming back into the market, well, you know what that means. I don't have to tell you what that means. And I'm not going to tell you what that means. So listen, if you're new to our channel, welcome. Subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button. Let's get this content out there. We need your help. That's what we need. All you need to do is you need to hit the like button. Today, I'm going to be doing tons of giveaways. I have a whole lot of giveaways here. Let me just look at my giveaway list. Okay, so I have Bybit giveaways, which I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing them slightly different. I have Chingari. I've got giveaways. I've got 10 NFTs. Mint price is 2 SOL. There are over 35 million active users. Advertisers will have to own these Panda NFTs to run advertising on the app. So it's a very clever use of an NFT. They're basically saying, look, if you don't own an NFT, then you're not going to be able to advertise on the app. Imagine that. So I'm going to be giving away 10 of these NFTs. Remember, the mint price is 2 SOL. I think we are paying for the mint price, so it's part of the giveaway. So there's that giveaway, and that's only 2 subscribers. And you're going to see today we're going to have a lot of fun with our subscribers, particularly those who have Bybit accounts. So if you've got a Bybit account, then stay tuned because we're going to have some fun here today. All right, let's not waste time on the intros because everybody wanted quick intros. But again, smash the like button. Let's get the show on the road. And I think what we should do is we should start off right over here at the Bitcoin price, 47,748. It does look like this run is going to continue. The volume is still here. In fact, today is the first day where we haven't seen as much volume as we have in the previous days. And it looks like the run is continuing, and it is going into altcoins. So if you look at the altcoins, and specifically you look at the altcoins in the last week, you look at altcoins like Stargate Finance, we're still waiting for an entry opportunity into Stargate Finance. I still haven't pressed the button on Stargate. I wanted to get into there at like $2.60. But I said, no, not yet. JPEG, which is one that we have been following, up 130%. Rubik, up 122%. They are the website sponsors, our website sponsors. DeFi Kingdom, up 100% this week, 96.5% this week. T-Shares, up 68.3%, and that's because it hit the tomb hit the peg. So our portfolio is doing amazingly well. For those of you who had the conviction and actually got into the portfolio, you're doing exceptionally well. Right now, our portfolio is up 51.6% in the last month and a half. I mean, that is absolutely It's mind blowing that already in 1 month on a completely diversified portfolio, completely diversified portfolio, which has NFTs and layer ones and layer twos, you guys are up 50%. So if you had the courage to buy when others were a little bit scared, well, you guys are up, and that's exactly what investing is about. It's about investing when it feels uncomfortable. And you'll remember when we were at this level over here, I said it does feel uncomfortable to buy, but that's why we've got to start buying over here. And what's happening now is we're starting to see the sentiment change, and we're starting to see the market cycle change. And those of you that got in are 50% up, and most people are actually just starting to get in. So they're just starting to get in over here. And I think that the big question on everyone's mind is this run going to continue, or are we going to see some kind of pullback? That's the question on everyone's mind. And I'm going to show you the case for both today. So I want to show you the case for why this run may continue, but I'm also going to show you a few things that may call for a pullback. There may be 1 or 2 news events that may bring us into a pullback. So you got to see both sides, and then you got to make a decision as to which one you believe. Obviously, we're very much long-term bullish, but what do we do right now? If you're not in the market, do you get into the market right now? And if you do, what are you getting into? And if you are in the market and you've made some profits, well, then do you actually start taking profits? That's what we're going to be talking about today. What we do see also is we see this portfolio. So you'll remember this portfolio. This is the $50,000 portfolio from the bull market, which became a $37,000 portfolio in the bear. And then what happened was it went down. I then deployed all the money, and we got down to 21,000. Now that portfolio is back at $50,000, for $49,550. And when we started on the portfolio, when the portfolio was at 37,000, Sheldon and I said to Sheldon, what we need to do is this is probably how the whole community is feeling. Right now, they're down and out, their portfolios are down. Some people's portfolios were down 50%, some were down 40%. Everybody's portfolios were down. And we wanted to show you how easy it is to get the portfolios back to where you started and actually to start making money. And so that's why we invested in this. And I told you guys that it's going to be I see my friend Dallas from Mexico. What a legend. Welcome, brother. Big hugs to you and to the family. Big hugs. So you have this portfolio. Now, it's a little bit of a risky portfolio. It doesn't have Bitcoin, and it's got very little Ethereum. I still got $2,500 in cash, and I'm going to show you today what I'm going to do with the cash. I'm actually going to deploy it. You can see that there's a Uniswap tab open over here, and that's because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be let me just open that Uniswap tab. So we are going to be making a trade in that portfolio to finish the $2,500 that I've got here. And then what you'll realize is that we just leave it, because that's the strategy. The strategy is we're just leaving it because we want to keep this portfolio growing. The idea is not to make to get your money back, but the idea is actually to make money. So yeah, let me just get this off the screen. The idea is actually to make money, not to get your money back. And so what I wanted to show you was that we are going to get this money back, and we'll show you how to trade this. And for those people like Dallas, I know Dallas Degen into this Degen-ish portfolio, you're a month and a half in, you're holding an unbelievable portfolio. In fact, if this is, I think, one of the best portfolios that we've made, and you guys are up 50% a month and a half after you've invested. Did you tell me we added solid? We added solidly yesterday. We did. We added solidly yesterday. We're a little bit down, but it doesn't matter. It'll keep going. All right, let's look at whether or not this is going to continue, because I guess that's a question in everyone's mind. Is this a dead cat bounce? Is this run going to continue? I think when you look at the charts, and Sheldon spoke about this on his show earlier, but it's clear to see that Bitcoin has printed a higher high. So you got a high here, you had a lower high here, or maybe you can say it was equal, and then you got a higher high. And Kyle was on Sheldon's show today. And Kyle, I actually want to ask you, you guys, you said that Bitcoin was rejected the 200-day moving average, right?
Yes, on the first attempt, but then we said that should I just mute you quick? We said on the first attempt, but on the second attempt, we think it will get through. And then the next major resistance is coming in at $52,000, which is where Al Capo said he will only enter after 52. So he's obviously also looking at the same resistance.
Carl and his friend El Capo the Bear. All right, so we can see that the sentiment has changed. And yesterday I said there are a couple of options here. The first option is that Bitcoin is leading the recovery and the rest of the markets will follow. And that may actually be playing out, because if you look at world markets, so this is world markets. Now, this is a sea of green, and it's serious green. The US market's up 0.5% to 1%, but look at the rest of the markets. Look at the European markets, up 3%, up 2.78%, 2.34%. The ATX up 4.33%. So you can see that it looks like European markets are having a great day. Why are they having a great day? Well, ask yourself the question. It could only be one thing: Russia, Ukraine. And it looks like there have been breakthroughs in Turkey with the Russia-Ukraine peace talks. I know Roman Abramovich was there. I saw that. He's one of my favorite Russian oligarchs. And anyway, what we're getting from there is that, first of all, Russia is de-escalating attacks in Ukraine. And in particular, what we've heard from there is that they're willing to withdraw some forces around the Ukrainian capital, which is Kiev. But then we're also getting some more news that the talks are now in a practical phase. Now, practical phase probably means that what they're doing now is they're discussing the nuts and bolts. They've agreed on a framework, and now they're talking about practically how do we actually execute all of this. So that's quite exciting, and that's obviously driving the markets down. I haven't looked at the commodities index, but let's quickly look at commodity indices. Let's quickly see if we can find them here. Let's see if we can find commodities. Where do you find commodities on this thing? Crypto, major indices, world indices, indice futures. Okay, well, I'll find the commodities on. I don't know how to use the desktop application here. What we're also seeing though is we're seeing that people are starting to take risks again. We're seeing it a little bit in crypto, and you can see in crypto, you look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, and it's continuing its little, ever so slightly, but it is continuing its downtrend. It is trending slightly down. So we had another red candle today, and it looks like we may start coming down there. I don't know if they poisoned Roman. I think they poisoned 3 Ukrainians. I don't know if they poisoned Roman. He also got poisoned.
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, so a little bit of poison. He is really one of my favorite oligarchs. Guy's done so many good things. Roman's done so many good things, and he's now being, he's got these sanctions. Terrible. Look, I'm not going to judge what I know, what I read, and I read his Wikipedia biography and a couple of other things about him. Guy seems like an amazing guy. And I mean, these oligarchs can now no longer withdraw money from ATMs. That's really the reality of it. Anyway, as I was saying, risk appetite is increasing, not only in crypto, where we see that in the altcoin, we see that people are now ready to start DJing into altcoins. But we also see that people are starting to invest money back into meme stocks. So what does it mean that people are starting to invest money back into meme stocks? It means that retail is starting to come back into traditional markets. And when retail comes back into traditional markets, and particularly the same retail that invests in, Virgin Galactic, Tesla, Bed Bath & Beyond, AMC, over the last 10 trading days, GameStop is up like an altcoin, 143%. AMC is up like an altcoin, 116%. Tesla is up 43%. So that's kind of like a layer 1 altcoin. Bed Bath & Beyond up 37%. So you can see that the market is the sentiment is starting to come back into the market, and retail investors are starting to come back into the market and look for returns. We're seeing the same thing in crypto, which is quite cool, because what we saw a decline in exchange volume. So November to December went down, December to January went down, January to February went down. And then for the first time in March, we've now seen a 6.5% increase in the relative volume on exchanges, which means that money is coming into crypto. And not only is money coming into crypto, but the market dynamics of crypto right now are set for this melt-up that we spoke about. We spoke about a melt-up, and the market is now positioned so well for this melt-up. And I said yesterday, I think that Do Kwon, whether he knew it or didn't know it, he was sparking the next bull run with his buying. And apparently, you guys are telling me in the comments that Luna is now hitting an all-time high. I think that's possible. Let's quickly look at it. Let's quickly just call up Luna here and actually look at the all-time high. I think it could be. I saw it earlier at 100 and there we go. Oh, $107. There we go. So it is an all-time high. It is an all-time high. Amazing. I switched some of my Luna into Solana because of what I did, and so far it's actually been a good bet because Solana is up a lot more than Luna. So far it's been a good bet. Not a lot, just a very small part of my position, couple of percent. I see Fred's here.
Hey, buddy, do you want Burb on today?
Oh, do I want Burb on today? No, not today. Tomorrow. Fred, I don't know where Fred came from. Walked in, I want Burb on today. Oh, we could have him back tomorrow. Okay. So what we're seeing is we're seeing Jake says exactly as I predicted. It is exactly as I predicted. We're seeing the following. We're seeing KuCoin in the market. And what the reality is now is that when you combine KuCoin buying in the market, and then you look at the on-chain metrics, and if you look at the on-chain metrics, Bitcoin is trading at 48,000. And there's only been one other time that the percentage of supply that hadn't moved in over a year was at this level. So if you look at this chart, the orange price is the percentage of supply last active a year ago. So in other words, it is the amount of Bitcoin that are sitting with hodlers, which are hodling for over a year. So for 1 year. And so what we can see is that now we're in a position where KuCoin is buying. The number of hodlers is at an all-time high. An all-time high. And at the same time, the hodlers accumulation ratio, which shows how these hodlers are accumulating, is at an all-time high. So you have these hodlers who are now accumulating at the fastest rate that they've ever gone. And this is happening while KuCoin is in his buying on the market. And so the result of what's happening is that no one wants to sell Bitcoin. Frank Chaparro posted a tweet and says in the tweet that no one wants to sell Bitcoin, knowing there's a giga whale bidder. This is what OTC desks are telling me. They're literally not selling because KuCoin says he's buying. And so I decided to phone my OTC dealer, So I decided to phone my dealer. And I asked my dealer, I said to him, what's the story with Bitcoin? He said, he said he's been around since 2013. And never since 2013, he said, has it been so hard to come up with large blocks of Bitcoin on the market. So since 2013, he's never struggled so much to get hold of Bitcoin. And that's a combination because the market dynamics have now created long-term hodlers. These long-term hodlers realize how valuable this thing is and they're aping into the market. And then you've got what I called yesterday on the show, the unnatural buyer, which is KuCoin. He's the unnatural buyer in the market, buying in increments of $125 million at a time. And so no one wants to sell. And then after I finished speaking to my dealer about Bitcoin, then I said to him, look, can I just get like 2 grams and a whole lot of other stuff? You asked for it, you got it. You asked for it, you got it. Yeah, okay. No more nasty comments about my sweater. It's cold here, guys. It's cold. I know it's not black. I know it's not what I always wear. Now, here's something that's super, super, super interesting. Super, super, super interesting. So concentrate now. Concentrate. I know you haven't been concentrating the whole time, but concentrate because there's also a massive shift in market structure now. So remember that with every long, there has to be a short. So every long has to be a short. But not every long and short have to be leveraged, okay? So this is important. For every position, for every futures position, there's got to be a buyer and there's got to be a seller. Otherwise, there's no position that's open. But the buyer and the seller can be leveraged or not leveraged, okay? So imagine that you can either buy a future using leverage or you can just buy it using spot money. So what you can see here is that the market structure has changed. If you look at the long positions, so look at the long positions, and what you can see in the long positions is that the majority of the long positions are not leveraged. The leveraged in the longs would be this little bright green. But in the shorts, most of the shorts are leveraged. Okay, so 80% of the shorts here are leveraged. Okay, what does that mean? It means that the longs have staying power because the longs can hold for long because they're holding spot positions. They're not leveraged. The shorts, if we get the price to go up, you know what happens?
Short squeeze.
Short squeeze. You see, and you can see it clearly in the structure of the market. All those shorts over there, all of these guys here are leveraged. And on the long side, it's only that's leveraged. It's only that's leveraged. So right now, if the market starts to go up and if we get another green candle on Bitcoin, then there is a chance that some of these longs are going to liquidate the shorts, and then we're going to get squeeze. We're going to get squeezed like lemon. Then we see also on chain that there's a net inflow of stablecoins to exchanges for the first time since before the war. So this is how it looks from before the war, and you can see for the first time stablecoins are flowing into exchanges. You know what that means? If stablecoins are flowing into exchanges, it means that somebody's about to press the trigger and actually going to start buying. And we have the buyers in the market. So we have KuCoin in the market, and as I said yesterday, he's being, in my opinion, overly vocal. He's playing this game. He's being overly vocal with these memes. I'm asking you once again to short Bitcoin. In other words, I'm about to buy. Okay, but he knows no one's going to short because he knows that he's setting into the market. So he's playing this game, and it is driving the market. And so far, they have bought $1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin, so 27,784 Bitcoin. And now he's really competing with Michael Saylor. People say he's hilarious. He's either the biggest genius in the world or he's the biggest idiot in the world. And I know KuCoin, so I know he's not the biggest idiot in the world. So then you work it out. The guy's one of the biggest geniuses in the world. He knows exactly what he's doing. But now, what you see, Michael Saylor woke up this morning and he felt a little bit of FOMO. He said, look, I can't let KuCoin be the only guy that's buying because KuCoin has become the new Michael Saylor. And, Michael Saylor feels that he must be the only Michael Saylor out there. So he went and took a loan. So first of all, get this guy. So he has a subsidiary of MicroStrategy, and they call the subsidiary of MicroStrategy MacroStrategy. Okay, so MacroStrategy, it should be MicroStrategy should be the subsidiary of MacroStrategy, right? So now they closed a $205 million Bitcoin collateralized loan. So basically, he went out and he took a loan and he said, okay, I'm going to use this loan money to buy Bitcoin. That's basically what he said. So he's now back in the market buying another $205 million worth of Bitcoin. So in the next couple of days, expect the MicroStrategy tweet. And you take that and you say him plus KuCoin, that's another $200 million worth of Bitcoin in the market. And all this is changing sentiment. We're starting to get retail back into the market. And you can see that not only because they're buying meme stocks, but if you look at the Grayscale Premium, the Grayscale Premium is now starting to close. So the bottom was at about minus 32, I think, or minus 29, and now it's minus 26%. And now Grayscale, yesterday on an interview on Bloomberg, Michael Sonnenschein, the interviewer asked him, he said, would you consider legal action against the SEC, a lawsuit against the SEC? And he said yes. We would consider everything to protect our holders. Because what you got to do is you got to read between the lines here. They're saying that he's gearing up for a legal fight if the spot exchange is denied. And I think this would be a great legal fight because a lot of people can prove that they lost a lot of money because the SEC hasn't approved it. And he said, I think all options are on the table. He also says the Grayscale team has been putting the full resource of the firm behind converting GBTC, our flagship fund, into an ETF. Now, where are we? Raoul Paul said that he thinks that an ETF is coming in March, April. I told him I think that's garbage, but he said that's going to happen. Now, the SEC have now sent the Grayscale application in for a period of commentary. So basically, they send it out. They say if anybody has any questions on that, let us know. The next decision date for approval of denial is 6th of July, 2022. Okay, so 6th of July, 2022, we could have a verdict. I don't know if we will have a verdict, but we could have a verdict. But I keep saying that if you're thinking of buying Bitcoin and you're thinking of holding the Bitcoin for another 3, 4, 5 years, in other words, not just another year, then probably the best trade that you can make on the market is actually buying the Grayscale ETF, because you're buying the Bitcoin at a 26.22% discount to net asset value, in other words, to the amount of Bitcoin in the trust. And if and when that gets approved as an ETF, then we're going to zero. Then the premium becomes zero, because the discount becomes zero, because you don't really get very many ETFs that are trading at discounts. You don't really get that. So I think that's quite big. I think that's big. I think that a good trade now is to, I hate to say this because I know some of you will kill me for it, but sell your Bitcoin. So you sell one Bitcoin, you use the proceeds to buy $47,500 worth of Grayscale ETF. And what you're actually buying is you're buying more Bitcoin. You're buying about 25 or 26% more Bitcoin. So you probably got about $55,000 worth of Bitcoin or $60,000 worth of Bitcoin there. So that's the right trade. But remember, you got to be able to hold this for a long time, because if the ETF is rejected and it does go to court, well, then you could be waiting a long time for this stuff to happen. I did say it. Maybe that's not, look, on paper, logically, that's the best strategy. Sell Bitcoin, buy Grayscale ETF. You know that one day that premium is going to zero, but you don't know when that's going to happen. That's the problem. That's the problem. What else? Okay, let's talk about something else. So I'm getting massive FOMO. I don't know if you guys have been watching this, but a lot of the crypto people are in Dubai. A lot of my crypto friends are in Dubai. It's the Binance conference that's happening in Dubai. I was gonna go, but my wife is pregnant. We're having our fourth child. It's our fourth. I mean, it's not like number 1, 2, or 3. So it's the fourth child. So I'm quite used to having children. Childbirth is not a problem for me at this stage. It's not. I mean, I've had 3. Childbirth is not a problem for me at this stage. So I was going to go to Dubai, but then I thought my wife is due. You know when she's due? She's due on the same week as Bitcoin Miami. So on that 6th or that weekend of the 6th, that's when she's due. So I published a tweet, and in the tweet I said I have a press ticket. It's a press pass, and to Bitcoin 2022. But my wife is pregnant and the baby is due on the same weekend. What I want to know is there anyone who could assist my wife over that weekend if anything happens? And the reason why I said that, there's a good reason why I said that. Because I think that's the biggest conference of the year. I'm not going to be there. Miles is going to be there. He's going to be representing Banter. But at the
I'll take care of it. Don't worry.
Really, bro?
You can go.
Don't know if I should be scared of that. Can you imagine my baby's born, first thing he sees is Fred? Fright of his life. Probably try to crawl back in. Anyway, the reason why is because it's such a big event. And last year at the event, we got such big news. I don't know if you guys remember, but Jack Mallers stood up on stage last year. Listen.
Now someone I've spent some time with to share a message.
My name is Enrique Bukele, and I'm president of El Salvador. Great ideas are beautiful and have great power. But like most beautiful things, they can also be more fragile than we think. When I was a kid, we thought about the future and we were delighted by its possibilities. We couldn't wait for it to happen and be part of its creation. But now, ask almost anyone what they think about the future, and they will say something along the lines of nuclear war, climate catastrophe, hunger, pestilence, the death of life. We didn't take care of the beautiful idea that we create our own future, that we as humanity can do almost anything that we imagine. Our ingenuity, what separates us from other species. In El Salvador.
Okay, so that was when he first. That was the first time that he came onto stage. No one knew who he was before. Now everybody knows who he is. Jack Mallers was again on stage. Amazing. It was
humanity, and don't you dare let anyone tell you otherwise. There's people out there that need help, and today they got help, and this is a tremendous day for humanity. It's a tremendous fucking day, and everyone in this room should be proud.
Okay, so that was Jack Mallers on stage at the biggest crypto event of the year, and I've got such FOMO that I can't go this year. Such FOMO. The other reason why I have such FOMO specifically this year is because I think we're going to get a whole lot of big announcements. And when I say big announcements, I think these are announcements that are going to move the market. Now, here's the alpha, because I think that there's going to be a huge pump towards the event, which I think is happening on the weekend of the 6th of April. And I think there's going to be huge market moving alpha. And I'll show you. The first thing is we think that Honduras may be announcing at the event that they're going to adopt Bitcoin. Okay, great. So another country, another small country in Central America this time, adopting Bitcoin. But that's not the announcement that I'm looking for. I'll show you the announcement that I am looking for. So Jack Mallers posted a few things. The first thing he posted is he posted this. Out of the blue, yesterday, he posted this. Okay, so that's what Jack Mallers posted. And that's not like him. And I'll show you what else is not like Jack Mallers. If you know Jack and you've interacted with him, you'll know that Jack doesn't wear Apple caps. He just doesn't. It's just not something that he does. And so when Jack Mallers posts the following, picture number one, Your Honor, number one, picture number one, evidence number one, you've got exhibit one, and he shows about a QR code scanning cheeseburger, fries, Coke, and he shows Best Buy, CVS, Bitcoin Strike, Bitcoin Strike, Bitcoin Strike. And then he says, Strike's mission is to make Bitcoin network easily accessible and usable. We chose the Bitcoin network because it's uncensorable, unfreezable, permissionless, borderless, and offers cash finality. We believe with Bitcoin as the monetary network, the financial system will be cheaper, faster, and more innovative. And then he posts that picture, giving a big fuck you to the banks. And then
Same hoodie as you.
He's got the same hoodie that I have, exactly.
Yeah.
And then he says April 7th, untitled. You see, he doesn't even call his speech anything. And he then says announcement, Jack Mallers announcement keynote, Thursday, 7th of April at 4:35 p.m. on the main stage. I mean, you got to put the pieces of the puzzle together that what Strike is probably doing is enabling Apple to accept Bitcoin through their Apple Pay. That is what we think. So what we think is going to happen is Apple and Jack Mallers Strike will announce at the Bitcoin conference a strategic partnership to provide Bitcoin and Lightning Network wallet to all Apple devices with the next Apple Pay update. And so now what we're talking about is another billion people, because Apple has about 1 billion phones in the market. And another 1 billion people may get access to crypto, to Bitcoin specifically to Bitcoin and the Lightning wallet. So I think that, I mean, if you read between the lines, there's no other way to read this. Like, how else do you read this kind of announcement? The guy posts this, and the keynote is untitled. And then you can go back and you can see, in fact, let me quickly go forward. And you click on his profile, and the same guy who's made a huge difference then a couple of hours later posts, here we go. And he says, breaking, Senator Loomer says Jack Mallers and Strike will make an announcement next month on their work with the Lightning Network. So it does feel like next month is in a couple of days, in about 10 days, and that there may be an Apple announcement with Jack Mallers at the Bitcoin 2022 conference. And so again, I'm reaching out to you and I'm pleading with you guys, if there is anybody in the Cape Town area that can help my wife that weekend, yeah, please let me know. Please let me know. Someone went and showed this to my wife. Someone took a screenshot. Fred, did you take the screenshot and send it to my wife, bro? Because my wife phoned me. She's like, dude. Oh, now Fred's gone, huh? Now Fred's nowhere to be seen. You see that? Now we don't see Fred. Exactly. Who is still bearish after this? How can you be bearish? I mean, look, there are one or two things. I said to you guys that there could be a retest. And if there is a retest, there are one or two things on the horizon that could cause a retest. One of them is that the EU Parliament is again voting on Thursday. And this time they are voting on a KYC process, an AML process around unhosted wallets. Okay, so it's quite a big deal. This is actually quite a big deal. What they are saying on this vote that's happening on the 31st, they want a couple of things to happen. They're saying that they want the Parliament to revert back to let's quickly go back and look at what they want. So The EU Commission's AML package includes a revision of the transfer fund regulation that will extend the obligation of financial institutions to accompany transfers of funds with the information on the payer and payee to crypto assets. Effectively, what this means is that the EU would, if this is passed, the EU would require exchanges and other financial service providers to do KYC on their clients for non-custodial wallets. And not only would they have to do this KYC, but they would also have to verify the accuracy of information with respect to the originator or beneficiary behind the unhosted wallet. So it's similar to the what we heard in the States, or what we were worried about in the States. And it looks like it could happen in the EU, and the vote is this Thursday. If it does get passed, it doesn't mean that it's happening and it gets through. It can still be negotiated and it can still change, but we don't want this kind of stuff because it can really ruin innovation in the space. This guy, his name is Fayar Shirzad. He says, let me go back. He says, the transactions with self-hosted wallets requiring the widespread collection, record holding, and verification of wallet data is hugely harmful. The verification requirement in particular is almost impossible to satisfy, raises serious privacy issues, and should be fixed. He says, thirdly, forcing exchanges to proactively notify authorities for all transactions over €1,000 from self-hosted wallets, regardless of whether it's suspicious activity or not, is a problem. He says it's almost impossible to comply with this, and it's going to stifle regulations. And Brian Armstrong weighed in. He's now saying, remember, he fought this very, very, very hard in the US. And so he's now stepping in, and he's saying, look, it's important that we stop this in the EU. That vote is on Thursday. So if you are expecting a pullback, and if your charts are telling you there's a pullback, that could be the reason for the pullback. It does happen, it's not the end of the world, but I mean, it is there. It is something we should be talking about. What else? There are one or two other small things we should talk about. We do have, in Canada, we have Pierre Poilievre, who says if he's elected Prime Minister of Canada, he'll keep Bitcoin legal and reject the China-style crackdown. So maybe that will bring some changes. He has been known, he conservative leadership candidate Pierre Poilievre says that he bought a chicken shawarma using Bitcoin on the Lightning Network. So he's obviously a Bitcoin fan. Then Messari wrote a deep dive into Polkadot. I think what we'll do is we'll save that for tomorrow. We'll talk about the first 11 Polkadot chains. But what's interesting to note here is that if you look at the VCs, the biggest held layer one in all the VCs portfolio is actually Polkadot. So I mean, this is crazy. This is like the biggest layer one. They do have 11 parachains which are now live, which are now actually transacting live. So this is now real. They've got some DeFi chains. They've got Parallel Finance. They've got a Kala network. They've got Centrifuge. They've got smart contract platforms. So Moonbeam, it wasn't one of our portfolios. Clover, Astar, and they've got some Web3 applications. And remember, that's 11 out of the first 100 parachains. So I think that's about it. You've got Chris Larsen. The guy's delusional. He's the founder of Ripple. He's one of the founders of Ripple. And he's on this mission to move Bitcoin to proof of stake. He's been on this mission for like a year and a half. I don't think he's getting anywhere, but he's on this mission to move Bitcoin to proof of stake. Dude, don't you have enough problems at XRP? Seriously, do you not have enough problems at Ripple? All right, let's have some fun now. Let's get Hustle on, and then after Hustle, we'll have some fun with you guys in the comments and on our website. Hustle, what is on the gaming show, brother?
Yeah, so during this bear run, we obviously put together the gaming portfolio and we kind of let that sit, and we were yielding profits on the play to earn side. So now we're going to touch back on my top 5 gaming altcoins right now, that if you're positioned in, or if you are looking to grab positions in the gaming markets, I think these are the 5 strongest altcoins to take a look at and potentially get positions in before the next 30 to 60 days, because I think that the bullish sentiment potentially is only getting started. All
right, so Hustle, are you going to Miami with our friend Miles?
So I actually just texted Fred before this. I just got told last night that I have a speaker spot this weekend at NFT Miami. So I will be heading out to NFT Miami actually this weekend to represent as a speaker on stage.
Okay, but are you going to be at Bitcoin Miami the following week?
I might have to make it happen. I might have to
You
make it
might have
happen.
to. I mean, you should do it and meet the community. There's a lot of community people going there.
I might have to double dip then and make both trips.
Double dipping is always good. Double dipping is always good.
I'll make room for the double dip.
Love you, much love, brother. And I see. I mean, you did a show last night. You did a show this morning. You're back on the show now. Unbelievable. Your work ethic is absolutely superb. Absolutely superb.
I appreciate it. Just trying to keep the value flowing, my man.
Alrighty, let's have some fun. Let us pick some winners. So here's how it works. Here's how this works. First of all, if you commented on the website, I'm going to give you one of these Chingari NFTs. Remember, these are the NFTs. I just want to get you all the facts. Let's quickly get all the facts here. So the facts are that there are 10 NFTs to be given away. The mint price is 2 SOL. I think we pay the mint price. They are raising they have over 35 million users. It's the TikTok of India. Advertisers will have to own a Gari Panda NFT to run ads on the app. And so that means that if you own one of these, then effectively you will have to sell it to an advertiser, and that there could be huge value in that. So we will give it to people on the website, people who have commented on the website. Now, we're going to have some fun with giveaways now. We're going to have some fun giving away shit to our community. So there is on the website, there are amazing stories. Today, there's this European FUD, which you should probably read. There's a chart today, which Shaldina posted over here. Let's quickly look at the comments here. Okay, hold on. Let's get to the comments. 1 second. All right, so Celia, you win one of the Chingari NFTs. Wolf B, you win one of the Chingari NFTs. And we will do a whole lot more of these giveaways. Now, so you guys win of those NFTs. We'll continue to do NFTs giveaways. Now we're going to have some more fun. So if you have a Bybit account and you have money in your Bybit account and you've used our referral link, so go look in there's a referral link below to Bybit. Then, here we go. So Upper KLP11. If you have a Bybit account and you have money in your Bybit account right now, I'm going to give you 2,000 BitDAO tokens. And those are valued at about, I think, let's see how much. Oh, you don't have one. So you don't get it. Okay. Poker enthusiast. If you have a Bybit account and you have money in your Bybit account, even if it's $10, you get $2,500 in BitDAO tokens right now from me. If you don't, sorry for you. Umer, if you have a Bybit account and you have money in your Bybit account right now, I'm giving you $2,500 worth of BitDAO tokens. I'm not going to forget the people who are on our YouTube channel and can't watch.
What about this guy?
Give him 1,000 BitDAO tokens. Okay, Aussie Pete.
Active.
Okay, now, just so you see that we don't, just so you can see that we don't forget about the people in the comments, because we know that not everybody can watch live. Let's go to yesterday's show. So here's yesterday's show. Great show. If you missed it, tough luck for you. And we'll just pick some people here. So True Gen T. If you have a BitDAO account, a Bybit account, and you have money in your Bybit account, and you used our referral link below, $5,000. $5,000 in. I will give you $5,000. Now we know what time you open your account, obviously, because we get a log from Bybit. Sandre Sunby, Ran has been sitting in his hands not buying. Now he says that he told us to buy. Even though you're salty, if you have a Bybit account, open with our referral link, I'm going to give you $10,000. $10,000 into your account. All right, so those are the winners. Giveaways at CryptoBanter.com if you were a winner. Also, okay, listen to this. So my interview with Kitco News is out.
We are back with Ron Lunaire, founder of Crypto Banter, and we are focusing now on Ethereum, which has the second largest market cap.
You see, so my interview is out there. It's one of the best interviews I've ever done. So go and check it out, Kitco News. Carl, put a link in the description to this thing. Go and check it out. Great. And give love to Kitco News, because if you give love to Kitco News, then they will just invite the Banter fam there more often, and we can get the Banter fam out there and we can just keep growing the fam. All right, let's take one last look at the markets before we go. One last look at the markets. Go, baby. Just go, go, go. Okay, I see Bitcoin is doing good. Solana, $114 doing good. Our altcoin portfolio doing good. Rune, look at Rune. Look at Thorchain. $12.68. This thing's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Still, I said I'm going to make a purchase live. Right, I did say that. So I've got to make that purchase. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take, I've got some US, let me quickly connect the wallet. I don't mind if you see this wallet because this wallet is actually made for you guys specifically on the show. The only money I have in this, oh goodness gracious, wrong network. I've got it.
That's fine.
Yeah, I've got to connect the network. Okay, let me quickly do it offline. I'm going to make a purchase into this portfolio. Let's quickly go to MetaMask and change the network to Ethereum. Okay, here it is. So we've got, the account is now connected. Do I have any USD in the account? Let's have a look. I should have USD in the account. I have 2,500 USDT and I want to buy something. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to SOLID, solidly. And I'm going to copy this and I'm going to buy. What do you mean you're not finding the token? Oh, is it on Phantom? It's on Phantom. Okay, so I can't do it on. I can't. Of course, it's on Phantom. It's on Phantom. All right, I'm going to buy and I am going to add it on. And tomorrow, when you look at this, it'll be in our CoinStats portfolio. That was a bit of a rookie error.
I must hang out with Miles more.
Yeah, I need to hang out with Miles more often. That was a bit of a rookie error because I knew it was on Phantom. Yeah, I should go watch Miles' show. But tomorrow I'll put it into this portfolio, and hopefully tomorrow this portfolio will be at over $50,000, and then we're back. See you guys again tomorrow. Until then, trade well, my fam. See you tomorrow.